Jack Frost. What's up, man? Homie made it first. What up, dog? Kitty. Kitty's homestead. What's up, Jack? Anita. Heather. She's lost in conversation. Miona. Old ways.
Yay, Mama's here.
Jack just got back from drill. Welcome back. Farmer Meemaw, the keto wife life. Wow. Mark, Christy, Pam, Roxanne.
You're funny.
What?
You're like naming all these names and you're like, Roxanne.
Well, the funny thing is, oh, then never mind. It's not funny anymore. Micro Homestead, you snuck in there and I didn't even see it. Okay, Jack had to go drop a deuce.
Hey, is that?
No, I'm not talking.
Wait, stop. Hey,
Celtic Nana's in the house. What?
is it this or this?
For what?
That.
For what?
Is it considered a this or a this? Those.
Neither.
What is it? Tragnet?
Decoy.
Decoy.
Woody in the house.
Hey, Woody. Donna's here.
Hey, Donna.
There's several Donnas in here.
Mm-hmm. I'm not hating on you. No, Donna, you need to turn the volume all the way up. Floyd Underhill.
She's asking if you're gonna bust out the speakers this week.
Maybe. Maybe not. Little Green Acres is the place to be.
Now you know who Little Green Acres is. That's Prissy Green.
For me. She's rebranding. Farmer Meemaw, the keto wife, is rebranding.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to a store near you.
Mm-hmm.
Lonely
Scoot
Prepper.
your chair over a little bit.
I can't scoot over.
Yes, you can. Look.
No, I'm not.
See? Look at that. Oh, Donna S.
Donna
I better
S.
say hello too. All the Donnas are in the house. So you gave the yell, not yet.
Nope.
We just got here.
About 3 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Saturday already? Yes. And what a week we have. What a week we had.
Mm-hmm.
Some good things happened. Some bad things happened. Some things that we kind of figured were going to happen, happened. And we're still standing on our feet.
We are.
Y'all excited about the conference?
Jason's kind of like, Jason's a little,
I had a rough week. So
it's been like to the point where we weren't even sure we were going to make it to the conference at the beginning of the week.
word.
Like we were rethinking whether
Dr.
or not
Purple OG.
we were
What's
going to
up?
be able to.
Suburban in the house.
She says she doesn't feel good. Sorry to hear that, dear.
Suburban's in the house. Is that farmer's market still going on up there around her?
It's 365 days a year.
So they don't even close it for Christmas
Probably not.
and New Year's and Thanksgiving,
Probably not.
4th of July,
Never.
and my birthday.
Probably not.
You should close it for my birthday.
Everybody should close for your birthday. It should be a federal holiday.
Yep.
The day of awesomeness.
Mm-hmm. The day the world became legendary.
You and your legendary. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. Blaze finally convinced Jason that he should watch
Okay,
How I
stop
Met
talking.
Your Mother.
Hello to everyone who said hello to me and everyone else.
And
too.
everyone else too.
Floyd,
Ugh.
I know the feeling.
Feeling good here got laid off. God, that
No,
sucks.
must be something in the water.
I don't know.
Must be something in the water. But we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, we're 6 minutes in. And only 18 people watching.
We're not that cool anymore, I guess.
know, nobody loves us
Nobody
anymore.
loves us.
No.
Nobody loves me.
Nobody.
That's not true.
knows
There's 18 people in here that love us.
The trouble I see. Nobody knows.
My sorrow.
Leona said I could start blacksmithing. Whoop whoop. Hey Floyd, where y'all located at? I got some stuff that I'll sell you real cheap for blacksmithing because there is no way I'm ever going to be able to get into blacksmithing. And I got some pretty cool stuff that was. It's a federal holiday, November 10th. That's right. Ugh. Micro Jose says something attacked my broad-breasted turkey, ripped its skin, bruised the meat, but it still looks okay.
Is it safe to
Is
eat?
it safe to eat?
How long's it been out there?
Is it still alive? Turkey's still alive and moving. Patch it back up. Don't give it any type of penicillin or anything.
Hey, Teresa.
But you should be good. That's a little too far.
Yeah, they're in Indiana.
That's a little too far.
Did you see Hope's here? Hope said the party's here.
I think there's going to be a certain lady that really does not know what's fixing to hit her come Wednesday when we're all sitting around for din together.
Oh yeah, she's not in here. Well, it was funny because she sent a message. She's like, guys, I'm so sorry, but I don't think everybody that said they were going to show up is going to be able to show up. And I was like, okay. She says, I think it's just going to be us and you guys and Cherish and her husband. And I said, sweetheart, I don't know that you'll be able to handle all of that in one room. Especially if you get a bottle of mead in the mix.
Start passing it around.
She said, don't you me.
No, it was alive. I butchered it Friday when I got home. You should be good to go. You should be okay. Deep fry it.
You definitely want to make sure that you let it rest
Let it bleed out and rest. Yeah.
for like, what is it, 2 days?
Something like that.
Yeah, like 2 days, 2 or 3 days, I think it is.
In ice water.
Yeah, you let it go through rigor mortis and then come back, basically, is what it is.
He said we can do some bartering on a hog hunt. That's right. He wants to come down here and hunt hogs. Look, you need to come on down, and I need to put you on them hogs. And
Okay, Suburban. I don't know what happened with. I was waiting for enough people to get in the room, but it looks like the people that ordered from me. I don't know what happened with doTERRA. I kept checking with my order, and they kept not shipping it. And just when I was about to give them a phone call to find out what the heck was going on, I checked it, and they sent it, and it arrived today this afternoon. So it will
So we
go
got it?
in a box. Yeah, so it'll go in a box. I'll package everything tomorrow, and I'll send Jason, since he doesn't have to go. Well,
You ain't sending me nowhere tomorrow.
I'll send him to the post office on Monday. Is what
There
I'm
you go.
saying. I'll send him to the post office on Monday, and we'll get it over to you. So, I apologize for that, but for some reason, I don't know if they were having a lot of orders because of the convention.
I think it was probably that, and then this huge giveaway they got going on.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and so for some reason, it just took forever for stuff to get in there.
Robin,
I don't know.
dun dun dun.
But
It could be
fortunately-
Robin. I am so mad at you because
I know.
I know you dropped the ball and you're trying to blame it on doTERRA.
No, I promise I'll show you where I ordered it, and it
That's
took
what she's
them.
saying. William Galloway.
I love y'all, and in need.
Monday is Columbus
Yeah.
Day.
Oh, shite.
That's
won't be able-
gonna
No, the warehouse. I don't believe the warehouse is in hurricane territory, because I think they direct ship out of Utah, so I think they're fine. But for some reason or another, it was like, because it wasn't even the shipping.
That hurts right in the jujubes.
It was the them pulling the order. Like, it wasn't saying that it was, you know, because I had a tracking number and everything, and it kept saying it hadn't been shipped yet. So I was actually getting ready to when was it? Was it yesterday that I looked at it?
You were getting ready to micro jig, make
Yeah.
her a gripper.
I was getting ready to call them, and then I saw on my tracking, and this is the other thing that's suspicious. Normally they send everything to me UPS, and for some reason, it sent it USPS instead. So I don't
Nothing wrong
know.
with the USPS.
Well, and then the dum tied it to my mailbox just to, you know, advertise to everybody that I had this big huge box. I don't know. I'm listening, but have noticed to contribute.
I don't know.
So anyway,
I don't know.
everybody's week has been kind of crappy, apparently.
So that blows that Monday. That really puts a kink in the old wanker
Mm-hmm.
for Monday. No, I guess we just won't go. I guess it'll be a straight.
That's gonna be it. Well, you know what? It's in God's hands. He'll figure it out.
Yep.
I'm not worried about it.
Yep.
Not worried about it. He'll make it happen one way or another.
Yep.
How many have noticed the trees are turning? Yep. We've noticed it here. Matter of fact, ours started turning, what, almost a month ago, right?
No, not really. Nope.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna agree with you. No, I'm not. I'm
Gonna
not
agree
gonna
with me on
falsify
that.
that statement. I'm not gonna commit a felony.
Anyway.
Okay, so it's time to get this party started. I dropped my packer.
He said Packer. Whoa! Stop.
Drop my packer. Okay, so Saturday night, week in review.
You're so silly. Mustard seed. Yes, sir. Mustard seed. That's right. He told me that just to remember about how small the mustard seed is. And that all the stuff that we think is such a big deal right now.
Well, okay, you're hearing this news from me, Big Bear Homestead, first. first. Hearing it from me first. You ain't hearing it from no other homestead channel, no other prepper channel, nothing like that. Nobody else knows this behind the scenes, on the front lines, news, but me. If you have land and you are capable, I would highly suggest you go buy a family cow. Milk prices within the next year are going to rocket. And I mean skyrocket.
Where'd you hear that from?
It's basic math, Robin. And here is why. We got laid off, or I got laid off from the dairy. The guy who owns our small dairy can no longer afford to pay us. Now, granted, his business practices are not the greatest, but I have been calling around trying to find us another dairy cow because none of my cows are in milk. So that way I can feed these calves, and I have called about 6 different dairies and all of them have gone belly up.
So
Now,
what does that mean?
so this is why. The dairy farmers, the smaller dairy farmers, okay, they are pushing them out of business. The dairy prices, what they're paying the dairymen for milk is roughly the same price that they were paying these guys
In the 70s.
back in 1970.
Yeah.
So your smaller dairy farms,
And the prices to keep things going are much higher than they used to be.
your smaller dairy farms cannot afford to keep functioning. The price of feed is not the same as it was in 1970. The price of electric is not the same as 1970.
Equipment.
Wages are not the same price as they were in 1970. But they're getting paid per 100 pounds of milk less than $12 per 100 pounds. Now, they take that milk and sell it to the processing plants, which have jacked up the prices, or I'm sorry, lowered the prices that they're going to pay the distributors
Yeah.
of the milk. And then are going to start to charge you guys more per gallon of
gallon.
milk. Because right now, you noticed how butter is kind of a lot more than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Cream's a lot more than what it used to be.
Yeah.
What else comes out of there? Cheese. Cheese is a lot more than what it used to be.
Ice cream.
Ice cream is a lot more than what it used to be. Big ag, or the big business, is
Hey, Amanda.
choking out the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all these little dairy co-ops are teetering out. So then it's going to fall down on your larger dairies to try to beef up, to step up and make their production go higher, and they're not going to be able to do it because you can only fit so many cows in a certain amount of spot before your milk production goes down.
All right, so Steve asked how many gallons is in 100 pounds. It's about 8 pounds to a gallon of milk,
Mhm.
I think. So that would be about 12 and a half gallons of milk. So do the math on that one.
Yeah.
And then Donna was asking about, wouldn't he cut you a deal on a cow so that you wouldn't have to buy your own?
We could not come to an agreement on
The value
the value
of a cow.
of a cow.
that he wanted to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's a good way to set it up.
So, needless to say, tomorrow is our last day milking at the dairy. We personally, right now, we have 2 dairy cows that are not in milk that are hopefully bred. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. And if I find another job somewhere, I'm going to be able to afford to be able to bring somebody out to sleeve them.
Yeah, we have enough now that we'd be able to tell when they're in heat. When we've done AI in the past,
to see if they're prego.
Hey, Bandana.
Bandana Grandma!
Sullivan family wants to know what I'm working on. I am working on something for the conference.
Yeah, I can't drink that. It burns too much.
Okay.
Not heartburn. So, you got about 5 acres. You can handle a dairy cow. Now, somebody else in here said go to goats. Absolutely.
The only problem with goats
There is
is
no
that
problem with goats.
yes, is that their cream does not naturally separate like cow.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
So if you're trying to make butter, you have to figure out a way to mechanically separate it.
And you can buy cream separators online on
They're
Amazon.
not that bad. Yeah,
Not-
Bandana, we're gonna see her next week.
They're not that bad at all. But
I mean, there are some that are expensive.
but mark my words, by this time next year you're going to be paying anywhere from $6 to $9
I don't think it's
for
gonna
a
be
gallon
that
of milk.
high.
There's some places you're already paying 4, so it's not that big of a stretch.
But not 9. I don't.
I'm just giving myself a cushion for up north.
Right, but I'm thinking 5, like definitely 4 at the cheap places, and then $5 to $6 somewhere else. When we're watching this video in a year and you're wrong, I'm going to show it to you. Just
Okay.
saying.
Show it to me. Show it to me.
Just show it.
Show it to me. Because when I'm right, I'm going to be like, peace.
No, you won't.
Yeah, well.
Would you have a frog jump out your butt?
So, Devin, if you got about 5 acres, and look, right now's the time. And here's another thing: it works in your favor with this information, because right now
Cows
cows are
are
cheap, right? They're getting
relatively cheap.
down here. They're only getting, if they're gonna beef the cow. They're getting like, I think I heard my boss say 90 cents a pound right now, which is that's okay, but it's not the best it's ever been. See, they're already almost at $4 in Iowa.
Right, but see, like Mama's saying, $1.73 a gallon. That's what we pay when we go to Aldi.
Yeah.
When we're at Walmart, it's close to $4. It's like $3.40, $3.50, something like that. It just depends on where you get it. But what I'm saying is, even on the cheaper side of things, the Aldi's, it'll probably still be closer to $3. Would be my
Anita
guess.
was $4.89 last night.
Yeah.
Yep. So, if you can't do a cow, definitely do goats and start drinking your goat milk and using your goat milk, because it's coming. And basically, look, I told y'all, we're no longer we the people. Okay, we ain't been we the people for a while. We've been we the corporation. Okay? And that's exactly what's happening. You know, just like, it's no different than how McDonald's basically dominates or controls the beef market, the potato market, the tomato market, the egg market,
Yeah,
the cheese market. However McDonald's goes, that's the way the market goes. And so it's not a surprise that a couple of these large dairy or milk companies, not dairy companies, but milk companies, are wanting the smaller dairies out. They want them out, so then that way they can regulate the larger ones, and it's easier for them to regulate the larger ones. And then it just
Woody said, okay, find me 5 acres, Farmer Jason.
Hey, it's all over down here.
Mm-hmm.
All over. Yeah. And here's the thing. If we the people started putting the right people in your local
Yeah, you'd have to do it in
government
your local government.
and
like
in your
local
state
Department
government,
of Ag people.
and you got laws passed where it's okay for raw milk sales, you would see all of these small dairies saying, okay, co-op, peace.
Or you have people like, we were talking to Donna earlier today, where they just buy the equipment to pasteurize and homogenize there, and then that's it, you know. Bull owners will start charging more for services. No, I think what you'll see is a lot more AI. You'll see a lot more people just buying swimmers online, because that's what they can do that.
If you got the right people in your state house and your state senate to change your state law where raw milk sales were okay, you would see the milkman come back, where you would go to a local dairy, and look, this changes the economy. You would go to your local dairy and you would sign up to be a part of their route, and then you would have the milkman coming by your house dropping off X amount of milk bottles of raw milk every day, and it would cost you X amount a month.
Yeah, if you buy a
bam.
share in the herd is exactly right.
Yeah.
That's why we got our own milk cow. Yeah, that's the same. No, Jason's not going to be a senator. Hell no.
They're not ready for me.
Never will be.
I would turn this Georgia House on its head. And believe it or not, the Georgia House ain't all that messed up. They're starting to really come around with some of their raw milk.
Where's Lee at?
Give a rat's patootie about Lee.
I thought he was in the state senate.
No, he's federal.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I thought he was in the state. He's a loser.
But if everybody did that, then you would look. Then your dairies would be able to afford to buy, or your smaller dairies would be able to afford to have. Mama, you just messed me up.
Hey, Ricky Wallace. And you know the bad thing is she didn't intend for it to be that way, but she made me think that way. And you started searching through the comments trying to find out what I was laughing at.
No, I saw it right away, and I'm kind of like, let me just try to ignore it, and you kept giggling, and you kept giggling. I'm like, oh, really, Robin? So, anyway.
She's gonna cuss me. I can feel it coming on my phone.
No, right now she's like this. Because she just got what she wrote too.
Yeah, raw milk is legal in South Carolina. The only problem is you go over to Georgia and bring it back. That's a federal law or federal crime.
Yeah. So you would have the smaller dairies being able to afford to have people there to milk their cows. They would be able to get more cows
to be able to keep up with
the demand, and then they would employ delivery drivers.
Oh, he said he meant me, Senator Rear. No.
Would have no problem with a filibuster, that's for sure.
That's not very nice. Start reading War and Peace.
You wouldn't have to read anything. You would just get up there and just start talking. So, but yeah, mark my words. Milk prices are going to at least, I say they're going to at least double.
They won't double. They'll be close. Well, I guess if you're saying 3, if everything's 3, 6 would be. I think that would be.
So you want to make a wager? Make a little slap bet wager?
You can have raw milk in Georgia. Well, you can have it if it's for pet consumption. But whatever you do with it after we sell it to you as pet consumption milk, that's on you.
Look, I have been seriously thinking, because if we go get one or two more dairy cows and they're in milk, that would give me rightfully that would give me a total of 6. But Calf Pal, I don't think I'm ever going to milk her, because
You got to see her the other day.
She is all beef cow.
She is massive.
So I don't think she would really end up producing a lot.
Well, and it's not so much that as you want to kind of keep her for raising her.
I want to put calves on her.
Right.
So, but potentially we would have, if we got 2 more, we would have 4 dairy cows running around.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 cows and milk.
Now, what would be nice is you could rotate them so that they don't all milk at the same time. You could do 2, and so where they overlap a little bit, but not ever be out of milk.
But we would have a tremendous amount of milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I really seriously thought about buying like a refrigerated truck and putting on the side of the truck, Big Bear Homestead's raw milk for pets. And just meeting folks and selling the raw milk that way at $7 a gallon. Yeah. But we'll see where it goes.
And the thing is, the $7 a gallon, when you homogenize and pasteurize your milk, you're taking out all of the really good stuff. Half the cream's just about gone. When they pasteurize it and homogenize it, they thin it down. I'm convinced.
I drink pasteurized milk all the time. Right before I drink it, I hold it up right about here, and then I drink it.
Teresa's talking about bootlegging.
Look, don't think that it hasn't crossed minds where Blaze and I were thinking about getting an old Charger and foam in the back and running air conditioning vents in there to make it a refrigerator and start being like the Duke boys. Big Bear Homestead raw pets.
No. Well, the funny thing is, I didn't think about it, but you have Pet Milk. There's Pet Milk Company. Yeah.
Yep.
They speed up the hot rod.
No. But it's funny how let me go this route. It's funny how it's easier to get a drug like marijuana legalized than it is to get milk, raw milk legalized.
Yep.
Granted, both things benefit you.
Right.
But
well, the problem is that you have the hardworking farmer that keeps everything clean and everything's cool, and that's the ideal place for you to get your milk. But then you also have those people that are doing it just for the money, and their dairy is trashed. They feed them the bare minimum, or they pop them full of growth hormones and stuff like that so that they'll produce more milk, and then you're right back in that same saddle.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've got. Look, I'm not saying that if they legalize raw milk, that the raw milk dairy farm shouldn't have to go through the same inspections as the dairy farms that are out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, you should get a license or a permit or whatever. And I know there's some people that are saying that you shouldn't have to pay a permit for anything, blah blah blah. I get
It's
that.
true.
I get that. But we're also, if you're dealing with the public, you should have to fall underneath certain guidelines.
Right.
And that's just for safety.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some guys out there that will let the cow poo just pile up. Next thing you know, it's getting into milk.
Yeah.
I don't want to be drinking cow poo. I've already had it in my mouth.
Or they have an immense amount of flies.
Or they're not checking their cows for mastitis. They're just hooking them up. You know, there's lots of things. I'm not saying that the raw milk industry should just be left to the winds and
No, you should know where you're.
yeah. The dairy should still have to be registered. It should state inspector should still have to come out. And if anything, the cleanliness should be more in a raw milk dairy than in a dairy that it's going to be pasteurized and all of that.
Okay, so I have a question. Amanda was saying that the raw milk crap came from spoiled milk being sold. But then she said the cows were fed spent grain from the whiskey distillery.
Yes, that is true. I don't. The milk
It was
wasn't.
blue.
It wasn't really spoiled as much as it was tainted because they were fed the grains from the distillery, and the milk then came out blue, and then they added chalk to
make it
whiten it, and then that's what got started getting everybody sick. And then they just said, blam! They come in and knock that out, and it was literally one freaking dairy. That's that one bad apple that spoils the bunch. That was in the book Raw Milk. I'll have to find the link and try to get it in the description for you guys, but that is definitely a great read. That is a good read book. I picked that up in the library. I read that a couple of years ago. And
but you know, nowadays they do use brewer's grain, beer, the grain that they use to brew beer. They take it and they put the spent grain in the feed to boost up the milk production because of the yeast and everything that's in it. So, you know, but that's legal. So
yeah. So again, it's another one of these things that the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
So Woody said, "Do it yourself, barter, neighbor, the new black market." Absolutely. I mean, Jason's been screaming it for a couple of years. We need to bring back the. What do you always say?
Bring back. I say just like Salatin says. You need to bring back the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Boom. Look, I have got absolute. To me, I would much rather trade than use this useless currency that we have right now.
Right, because the value of eggs has not changed. The value of a chicken has not changed. It's when you try to put a dollar amount on it that has changed.
I would much rather.
Good night, Jack.
Later, Jack. I would much rather try to find a job where this person needs labor or he needs some special skill that I have, whether it's trapping a predator, and him look at me and say,
I'll give you a cow.
I'll give you a cow if you can knock my pig population down tremendously.
Take my coyotes out.
Or get rid of the coyotes and get rid of the coyotes and the beavers. I'll give you a cow in milk. Done.
Okay, done.
Done.
was also in Farmageddon, the documentary. So I don't think we've watched that one. My nephew come in.
I wonder, why would that message be blocked, Doc?
I don't know.
We're not blocking it.
Mm-mm.
So, why does people automatically assume that?
I don't know. Just let them know. Just
But,
let 'em.
you know, because I honestly believe, honestly believe that your trade, your skill set is worth a lot more than the dollar amount that people try to put on it.
Right, exactly.
Like making soap. Okay? This soap holds more value in trade than it does in currency.
Maybe he meant YouTube world. Yes, we do sell oregano oil.
Yes.
Wonderful Blessed Life, send me an email to the Big Bear Farms Oils at hotmail.com and I'll hook you up. We'll get it taken care of.
Get it taken care of.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It was blocked elsewhere. Won't be blocked here,
Won't
Doc.
be blocked here, Doc.
No.
The only way it
Sorry
gets
to
blocked.
hear that.
The only way it gets blocked here, brother, is if it's got curse words or
it's inflammatory in
Yeah.
some way or fashion.
Alright.
We're
you're-
not messing with that.
look,
You're
everybody.
one of
I want
us.
everybody to send good wishes or prayers to Doc.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Call me next week, Jason.
All right, Ricky, I'm gonna give you a holla.
Yeah, you can imagine why we didn't call you because of everything that's been
Yeah.
going on. Bartering is the only way to go anymore if you can. That's
Yep.
true.
Yep. So, with that being said, I have in my possession right now 9 steers that in a year and a half will be butchered for grass-fed beef.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested and you want to make the trip, because I don't deliver,
Obviously.
hit me up and we'll start working out some trades for it, stuff like that. Same way with here in the next couple of months, as soon as we get cold, I'm going to be butchering our 2 big Yorkshires. I'm going to have a tremendous amount of sausage.
Yeah, they're only going to be good for sausage.
Just because they were the breeders. They're old.
Their meat's a little bit tougher, so you're going to need to just mix it in with some fat and make good
Yeah.
breakfast sausage and stuff.
If your only skill is chopping down trees,
You can still find somebody who needs that.
I need some trees chopped
Yeah.
down. So let's talk. You know, so I'm all about doing that kind of stuff. No, I'm not gonna be. That was suggested, Donna S., but I don't. Dry ice is
Oh,
kind
no,
of
it's
dangerous.
expensive. And it's expensive.
And it's very expensive, yeah.
That's almost like, at my work, we have a shop in California. We have 2 shops in California. And then we have a shop in Dallas, Texas. And we can tell people all day long that we've got that material there, but they don't want to pay the shipping to get it here.
Yeah.
So,
Donna S., if you want to knit a couple of pairs of socks,
wait,
well,
that's Donna Norris.
Donna Norris, I'm sorry. If you want to knit a couple of pairs of socks and you want to make the trip down here, we can talk about putting some
But I
pig
think
sausage
she
in our hand.
lives- I don't remember where she lives.
And that's that's just the way that we're going to be doing things from now on. I would much rather barter and trade than swap money. If I could only get the mortgage company to do that, it would be gold.
How cool would that be?
That would be awesome sauce. You know. But that's the cool thing, though. When I'm working,
he said that before, but he didn't say for beef. He said for billet. Blind can pull weeds for beef. You know, with as big as the weeds were that we had this year, there's no doubt in my mind that you would find them. Are we gonna do another auction sometime? I don't know.
But trust me, if I got an email this afternoon that says I need to go take a test for this job that I applied for, and if I pass that test, I got to go take another test, and then it's basically the interview process. If I didn't get that notification, and if I fail that test tomorrow, we might be doing an auction.
For us.
For us.
Because we're gonna need it. Let's see.
My first thing on the auction block would be Mr. Case from the Homesteading with the Cases. Be auctioning off his beard. So. Yeah, so. But. Let's see. Blaze made it through a whole week this week.
Not really. Oh yeah, I guess today.
Without getting in a wreck. And not getting another speeding ticket.
Not another speeding ticket.
He didn't get pulled over this week. So, we'll be doing up his high school diploma now.
What happened in the dairy job? He lost it.
He went broke.
His business is not successful and he's lost too much money.
Yeah. He was losing almost $6,000 a month. Easy. And that was on months where he brought in a bunch of cows. So this is basically this is what happened to the dairy that I was working for. Remember when I said that this guy he does dairy replacements. That's his thing. He enjoys that much more than running a dairy. And he was paying us our salary. He was paying me to be the dairy manager, and I was paying Blaze, and when the girls would come up and help, I would throw them some money. And I was making a good wage. I was making a fair wage. But when his milk check from us milking all the cows, he was only getting maybe $2,000 a month for the milk, and his feed bill was $5,000 to $7,000.
Yeah.
He's already in the red, and
Yeah.
he didn't pay my salary yet. He didn't pay the rent. He didn't pay the power
anything.
bill,
Yeah.
the supply guy, any of that. And it's just one of those things that it just kind of happens sometimes. He was more focused on the dairy replacements instead of keeping a dairy. And it's like I told him multiple times when he was telling me, I think this is a game tonight. How many times can we make Jason stop?
I think Woody's winning. Yeah, but he wasn't running it right?
And I told him multiple times, look, you need to figure out with the way milk prices are right now, how many pounds of milk you need
to break even.
to produce to be able to break even and leave those cows alone.
Yeah, don't mess with them.
Don't sell them. See, because the bad thing is he would go to an auction and he'd see a cheap cow and he'd buy it,
Thinking he could turn it around.
thinking he could turn it around. And right now in that herd, there are about 6 or 7 what they call 3-tit cows and 1 2-tit cow. That means only 3 out of the 4 tits are working, and one of them only 2 out of the 4 tits are working. And these cows on average are only producing 20
pounds?
maybe 30 pounds of milk
When a good cow,
per milking.
you're looking for what, 50 to 60?
You're looking
At
a
least.
good Holstein should be producing 80.
Almost 80.
You know, some of them even get up into 100 pounds per milking. They just got big honking bags.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mama Donna, they went to go visit a dairy this past week, and they had all Jersey cows. Them Jersey cows had huge bags. Now those little Jerseys, I'm betting that they are probably producing about 50 to 70 pounds
60, 70
per
pounds.
milking. Okay?
Yeah.
And they're milking a little over 100 head of cow.
Yeah.
Now, that type of dairy that they went to go see will probably never ever go out of business. They're
Mm-mm.
not affected by this game
Because
they process their own right there. They homogenize it, they pasteurize it, right? And then they get to go sell it to the local stores. Awesome. Now, our problem was with our dairy, he would get in some of those cows that would just flow. It was great. You'd have to sit there for a minute or two to wait on this cow, and it's just a beautiful white milk was just coming
a
out.
lot of cream because the jerseys there was.
And it was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, if there is nothing better in the morning, they set up to 80. Yeah, that I believe. With those big honking bags and as good as those cows look.
I believe it.
I was gonna say 80, but I didn't.
They're smaller cows.
Yeah.
They're not as big as the they're not as big as the Holsteins. The Holstein that we had, she was sick. I mean, her back end was taller than my head. You remember when I stood up, she was taller than me.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can get big. The Jerseys are much shorter.
Because trust me, one of the best benefits at working at that dairy was first thing in the morning, after we did what was called the dump cows. Okay? That was the cows that were just had the calf, that got pulled, and they still had some colostrum. We had to make sure that their mastitis count wasn't through the roof because they automatically have a little bit of mastitis after they calf. Usually the calf sucks it out of them.
And
well, when you pull the calf early, like most dairies do, after 24 hours to 72 hours, they might still have a little bit left in them.
Right.
So you have to do what they call paddle testing. Now once they pass the paddle test, you give them a couple more days, test them again, and then you can put them in the herd. But they're what they call fresh cows.
Right.
And plus, you got to give them extra couple of days
To
because
recuperate.
fresh cows are crazy.
Yes.
They are just crazy. We had one fresh cow, no lie, hand to God.
I was there. I saw it.
She was a solid black Holstein. She just
Crazy heifer.
the kids called her Socks because she looked like she had on white socks and the rest of her was black. Well, we were bringing her into parlor and she just ran through
Through the rest
all
of them.
5 cows.
And she tore.
And she tore up the feed bin. She tore up the feed bucket. Cows. There was a little Jersey in there, all kind of twisted up like this. Just crazy.
She busted the
Fresh
metal.
cows are just crazy.
Busted the metal.
Stupid.
Started pushing people. I mean, it was
So you
bad.
leave them in what you call your dump herd because you're more than likely not going to be able to get them milked out the first day. And so you leave them in there a couple of days, make sure they pass the paddle test, da da da. But when I bring the herd in, there's nothing better than going to the coffee pot, pouring you a nice fresh cup
of coffee.
of hot coffee, walking up to one of them beautiful cows, putting the lid up and go shake it up. That is probably the best coffee on the planet.
Well, the best coffee, but the best raw milk is hot chocolate, like the old fashioned. Use the cocoa, whatever, cocoa and a little bit of sugar, and use that raw, not filtered, like cream, everything in it. I used to take a thermos full to work in the morning, and I would drink it all day, and I wasn't even hungry for lunch. Like I wouldn't even eat all day.
It got to the point that I was doing that every morning.
Crazy.
I was doing that every morning. I would set my coffee down, and unbeknownst to me, Dessa was going over there and sipping it. Well, the next thing I know, Dessa took some of her money that she made, and she got her one of those coffee cups like I got.
The insulated cup.
And so I'd go in there and I'd pour my cup of coffee, and I'd come out, and the next thing I know, Dessa was going in there. She pulled her cup of coffee. I'm coming up underneath the cow. Shake it up. I turn around. Dessa's like this. I look. She's got coffee in her cup.
Yes,
so I just went.
Ma'am. Yep. I'm telling you, the best is homemade hot chocolate with raw milk. It cannot be beat. It is the best ever.
But I'm gonna miss that until we get a cow with milk.
That's in milk, absolutely. No, my favorite, and we had just discovered it before our cow went out of milk, was we had learned how to make our own flavored creamer.
Yeah.
We learned how to make sweetened condensed milk from our own milk, and then take it and turn it into flavored creamer. And I mean, it doesn't get any better. What?
A dash of cinnamon with it.
Yeah.
That would have been the bomb. Teresa, I think you need to try it with the raw milk. I really do. There's a lot of people out there because raw milk does taste different.
It really does. And depending on your farmer, it might taste a little different too, because you may have a farmer. When I worked at a daycare, they actually were able to get in a small dairy's milk. Now, it had been pasteurized but not homogenized, but you could tell that those cows were exposed to onion grass, because you could taste the onion grass in the milk. Now, that's one thing we're going to do when we get our cows in milk, is we're going to try fennel oil, and we're going to see if the fennel passes through the milk to see if that happens.
Mary, as no, we couldn't agree on a price. Sometimes, let's just say, sometimes
just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, you just got to agree to disagree, because sometimes desperate people just do desperate things.
Yeah.
So we're shopping for some.
Yeah.
I would love to find a Jersey cow in milk, because one of the things that working in these dairies is if I can find a Jersey and we keep her, I may, once my other two get in milk, I may sell them and get
another Jersey.
Get two more Jerseys.
Yeah.
Every Jersey that has come through that dairy, even when they were fresh, were not as crazy as the ones that had Holstein in them. The butterfat count is higher.
Super high.
In Jerseys, which
they don't produce as much milk per pound,
Yeah, but
it's much higher butterfat.
And we make our own butter.
And and we want to be able to make our own ice cream and things of that nature.
But one of the things that we did learn is we can only make ice cream in the winter. I'm sorry, no, as you were cheese. We can only make cheese in the winter.
Yeah, ours ferments way too fast in the summer.
So.
Okay, so before we leave, some of you guys don't do Facebook, so we wanted to show you guys the new...
Well, you can't just plop the pictures up there. You got to give a little bit more of an intro than that.
What do I say?
Okay.
right.
Step back.
I'm a step back.
Step back.
Well, you were gonna shut down.
No,
without it.
I was not. I was
Whatever.
nowhere near ready to shut down.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, okay, y'all know that the conference is next
a week
weekend.
from today.
1 week from today, I'm going to be standing in front of a bunch of people doing demos and stuff. Amy had a couple of open slots, and I offered to stand up on the stage and give some classes. Haven't heard back from her yet about that.
I thought she had it all taken care of.
Anyway, so one of the things that we are going to be selling at the conference is a decal, a hoodie, a short sleeve, a hat, and a long sleeve shirt. Now the hoodie and the long sleeve pretty much look the same,
Just different colors, and one's a hoodie.
except for one's a hoodie and
The
different
design's the same, is what he's
Okay.
trying to say.
So what I'm fixing to show you now, okay, is basically what they're going to look like.
Because we haven't gotten them yet.
We haven't gotten them yet.
They literally are going to ship them to our hotel next week. Literally.
Okay, this is what the decal is going to look like. Now, you can use this decal to put it on the back of your vehicle. You can use this decal to put it on a Trapper Keeper. Do they even use Trapper Keepers anymore?
No, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put mine on my insulated cup.
Okay. We will, once we get these, and whatever we don't sell at the conference, we are going to get tumblers, insulated cups, and stuff like that, and start putting that kind of stuff on that, and that'll be on the website. Of course, I don't know why we're selling a decal.
For people who want it on their
All right,
cars
so
or
the
something.
next one we're going to show you is the hoodie and the long sleeve. So this is what the hoodie and the long sleeve are going to look like.
Very, very cool.
Obviously, the long sleeve is in the brown, and the hoodie is in black.
And the written words will be on the right shoulder.
Right
and on the
shoulder.
right arm. The logo will be on the left chest, like pocket area.
Mm-hmm.
Is it magnet type? No.
But we can make it that
But
way.
we could definitely make it a magnet if we needed to.
Yeah. So that was what the long sleeve was gonna, and the hoodie's gonna look like. This is what the shirt is gonna look like. Okay, wait a minute. The decal, bam. How much is the decal gonna be?
$3.
$3 honking dollars. $3. But you can buy a set. I'll say you do 2 decals right here tonight for $29.95.
3 monthly installments. Huh.
The long sleeve shirt is going to be how much?
Long sleeve t-shirts are $20 up to an extra large. When you get to a 2X, it's $22. When you get to a 3X, it's $23. And when you get to a 4X, it's $24.
What do you get to when it's a dinosaur and an X?
They don't make a dinosaur with an X.
And how much is the hoodie?
The hoodies start at $30, and it's the same principle. Up to an XL, it's $30. When you go to a 2X, it's $32. When you go to a 3X, it's $33. And when you go to a 4X, it's $34.
Dun, dun, dun. Here is the short sleeve.
Very cool.
Super cool short sleeve.
Those will be $15. And if you want double X, it's going to be $17, and then $18, $19.
Dun, dun, dun.
And this is on the website, guys. You can look at it. I went ahead and made a separate thing to click through. If you need like a double X or a triple X, it's on there. So
And here is the hat.
those, I cannot wait.
Those are going to be sweet.
They're sweet. Yeah. Teresa, just send me a message and let me know.
And the hats are going to be how much?
$20.
20.
And those are embroidered, y'all. They're not like that. Looks like it's just been placed on there, which it has. But when we get the real ones, they're gonna be embroidered. Yeah, on there.
Embroider. $20. $20.
Where's the website?
$20.
Yeah, Kitty, where's the website?
$20.
She's only been putting it out every 5
$20.
seconds.
20.
Because I
Can I get
love
30?
her.
Can I get $30? Can I get 30?
Will you
Anybody pay me
stop?
30? $30 for the hat. 30.
No,
30. Can I get 40?
$20 for the hat.
I'm running an auction, boy.
No, you're not running an auction.
I'm trying.
No,
So-
you're not. Now, just so that everybody knows, we normally don't tell y'all, go buy this stuff, go buy this stuff. The only reason we're even bringing this up is because of the stuff with Jason losing his job this week. We were counting on way more money than what he
Okay,
sent
Robin, I
us.
have an issue with the t-shirts. Man neckline or woman neckline?
It's just like these. It's not, it doesn't have the, but you could always do like I do. I always just cut a slit in it because it won't ravel. So, is the back fitted or adjustable? It's adjustable hat.
Beard Brother says, "Hey." Can you get the hat and army camo?
I could, but I would have to order. It would be a little bit more expensive. Are they USA made? You know, well, the company that we're getting them embroidered and stuff through, they were a small company, and actually, it's kind of funny because Green Gables is the one that put us
In
onto
contact
them.
with them.
But they were a small company that just happened. They're a good example of going with the flow.
Going with the flow.
They
Super
noticed how business was going with different digital printing and different things like that. And so they've branched out where they do normally you'd have to go to this person for this and this person for that and this person, and I was able to do everything through their company.
Okay, is this stuff American made? That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as t-shirts go, they're Gildan t-shirts. So, I mean, those stuff you could get at Walmart. I
So
mean,
it's probably not American.
probably not, but the business itself is American. It's a Tennessee business.
Now, I tell you what is American made. Every one of the traps in my trapping kit.
Yeah. Now that with the trapping kit that he's doing, we purposely chose the dog-proof traps that are American made for that
Mhm.
reason.
Yep.
The shirts are kind of one of those things you have to kind of go with what the distributor is giving you.
My baby's American. America.
America.
America. America.
I think I'm done here.
Also, guys, be checking out our website from time to time because now that I'm fixing to have some of this free time,
Yes, Teresa, it does have an opening for a ponytail holder.
I am going to try to get my shop cleaned back up. Now, I have to build a brooder box shed for our chickens, our meat chickens next year. I'm going to get that built, start getting it ready for the chicks that we're going to order in the spring. And then I'm probably going to start playing around in my wood shop again and start with bird houses, bat houses, and stuff like that. So be checking out the website for that because gotta put the sticker.
Am I gonna offer a package deal for all of them? I'll tell you what. His name's Howard, right? Howard, if you're interested, you just get with me and we'll figure something out.
Package deal for all of them.
Now, I know we had talked about doing like a long sleeve t-shirt and a hat or a short sleeve t-shirt and a hat. And we may, we still have a week to come
We
up
still have
with
a
that.
week. So you know what? Now you done put the bee in the bonnet there, Howard. And so guess what? There's going to be a special deal for all of them. Thank you. And it's going to be Legend.
Wait for it.
Dairy. Legendary. One legendary of a deal.
I don't imagine many people will want all of our Big Bear stuff at once. Dog-proof traps. Love y'all. Let me tell you, Suburban, it's...
When I... Look. Here, let me get on my soapbox.
Get up. Get up on it. Preach it.
If you are a nuisance wildlife trapper and you are going to a
trap
neighborhood,
in a neighborhood,
and there is a raccoon problem or a possum problem, and you are not using a cage or dog-proof traps, you
wrong.
are wrong.
Yeah, if you're in a neighborhood.
Wrong. Wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Absolutely, we totally agree with that. Now, if you're out in, like where we are,
and you're in a creek bed, then you put the footholds and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can put a foothold down. Unless it's your own dog, and then and you let your dogs run, then it's a different story.
But the nice thing though, now Suburban, here's the really nice thing though about most of the footholds made today.
Well, and we choose, the ones that we choose are for this reason. The ones that you use.
Most of them are made this way now, and a lot of them, you might have to do a little bit of alterations to them.
Alterations.
That's what I said.
Okay. And I'm the one drinking the vodka.
You see, all your interruptions have got me flabbergasted.
Did you say wrong? Anyway.
Most of the jaws, when your standard foothold trap, don't hurt the animal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They are what they call, they're offset, which means the jaws themselves never touch. There's always going to be a gap.
Just a little bit.
So it's almost like handcuffs. It sets down on the jaw, or it sets down on their paw, and they can't pull it out. It's just like handcuffs. Now the coon cuff is target specific, dog-proof trap. It is target specific to where the raccoon sticks his hand in there, or the possum sticks his hand in there, and he grabs a hold of the trigger and
dog
he pulls.
Can't. Well, for the most part,
gets
dog
it in
can't.
there. Now, here's my thing. Here's my other thing. If you're a nuisance trapper and you're using the dog-proof traps and you're using the push or pull dog-proof traps, you're wrong. You're doing it wrong. You should only be using in a neighborhood where people have their Fidos and their Apollos and
whatever
their Klauses. The one where the coon reaches in there and he pulls, because most of us nuisance trappers, we're using cat food or dog food or tuna or something
that's appealing to a dog.
Something that your domesticated dog would be like, hey, I know what that is. I'm gonna go over there and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is, for the guys that like to put tuna or
dog food,
the Alpo in the can dog food in there. Because look, not all nuisance wildlife trappers have anything up here. Some of them are just
chasing the money. Yep.
The dog will come and start licking at the hole. Well, what they're doing is, because the trigger is something just like this, they're pushing that stuff down in there, and Fido's got his tongue in there, and blam, and you come back, you got Fido by the tongue. And you did it wrong. Where when it's the pull one, the raccoon has to reach in there, grab a hold of it, and he has to pull it up, and bam, the trap fires. Then you got him all the way up, all the way up to his elbow.
Right.
There's a reason why these traps have evolved the way that they have. The traps that were back in Lewis and Clark days, yeah, they would tear a dog up.
But they didn't have domesticated dogs. What if a mouse doesn't like peanut butter? Add something to it.
You gotta add something to it. I ain't found a mouse yet that doesn't like peanut butter.
You gotta add some. Yeah. Go ahead and tell her.
No.
Well, you say it on the video, don't you? Don't you talk about what to put with the peanut butter in the video?
Yeah, go watch the video.
That's what I was saying. Donna, go back and watch.
Hold on. Whoa.
What?
Cases, we need to talk. I want to know how you getting all these sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
You, sir, are a genius. But there are many, many different traps that, if you're a nuisance wildlife trapper and you're going into these neighborhoods, that you should be pulling out of your toolbox, that you would not harm the local cat or dog. somebody asked me, can a cat pull the trigger? No. Reason being is the cat's paw doesn't fold in like a human hand, and
Can't grab. Yeah.
he can't reach down there and grab. He could paw at it all day long, but he's not going to be able to do it.
He has to be able to actually pull.
Yeah,
There's a trigger.
There's a trigger in there that looks just like this.
And he has to go like this and pull it up like that.
And when he's reaching it, like, for example, when I'm using my dog-proof traps, I'm putting dried cat food in there. Okay? And that means and I put a lot in there. I want him feasting. And I want that raccoon or that possum sitting on his hiney going, man, I don't hit the lotto. Is this a Ritz? Is this a Ritz cracker? This is so good. It's so good. And he's just eating it. And he's reaching his hand down in it. And by the time he gets to where the trigger part, he don't even care anymore. He's not even thinking about it. He's like, this is good. Let me get here before Cletus does, and let me eat all this. And he reaches down there and the grabs the trigger, pull it up, blam! Gotcha. And look, y'all know how everybody in the family, you got that greedy uncle that at the family reunion, he got a plate.
And
it's like 6 miles high, and he done took the last. He got like all the ribs on his plate, and ain't nobody else got ribs. Everybody else got to eat the chicken, and everybody looking at him mad. Dude, that's in the raccoon world too. There's been many times I've caught a raccoon both hands, bam.
Both hands.
Both hands in there, blam. And him looking at me like, what?
But you know what? There ain't a lick left.
There ain't no food left, man.
He's done ate every bit of it. He's done figured out a way to shake that thing. And there is nothing
He done moved his paws like this and he's got it up there.
And there is nothing funnier than coming the next morning and they're laid out with their arm out like that. And they're looking at you like,
look, I had a raccoon one time because I like to, on the dog-proof traps, I like to take airline cable and make loops so I can just wrap it around a tree, cinch it down, put it in the ground, and walk away.
And go. It's quick.
Quick. Now, granted, when I have issues around my coops, I have a totally different set of coon cuffs that have the anchor drivers on them, which I'm going to have those at the conference. Because not always in spots where I can wrap it around something where I don't think the coon could shimmy up and go.
Right.
I had a raccoon, like he worked for the phone company, y'all. He cinched open that airline cable and went boogity 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 up the tree and said, okay, cowabunga, and let go, and the airline cable cinched at the top of the tree, and I come back and he was just swinging.
Hanging there.
And I walked up to him and he kind of looked at me like,
can you help a brother out?
It went better in my head, Mr. Trapper Man. I shouldn't be here right now because in my head I got out. Can you
hook a brother up?
And there was one time that I caught this coon, and I was not targeting a coon. I was targeting coyotes on a farm.
Yeah.
It was out of season, so I was not harvesting him. I put the choke stick on him, pushed him down to the ground, took his foot out of the foothold, and released him. And there was a creek bed right there. And there was this log down by the creek bed. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. Okay? Hand to God. This coon on his back legs going across the log like this.
He really did.
He
was doing a jig. He was like,
woohoo! That fat guy let me go. I mean, boogity, 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 all the way down. Oh no, I'm gonna tell on you at the conference. See, you should have never said that line because I would have probably never said that at the conference.
What?
Please don't voice that at the conference. But right now,
do that voice at the conference.
Oh, do what voice? Oh, the gay voice. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, raccoons are the best critters to catch in the world. The worst critter to catch in the world is the dog that went feral because somebody dropped him off on the side of the road. I hate when I catch one of those. I got no choice but to put it down. because it's feral. It's mean, it's nasty, and there's no way to get it back.
And the other thing too is that they're not afraid of humans.
Yeah.
And
They're
that's dangerous.
I've had some chase Ladessa, and I've had to step out of the schoolhouse and shoot
Big
across
old
my
shit.
pond.
What was it, a chow?
I had a chow. I had a lab. You know, those are the worst ones, and that's just irresponsible people, in my personal opinion. And at least now, at least in our state, they made it a felony. You get caught dropping off a dog in the state of Georgia, it's now felony. You get felony charges. But I honestly think that they should tar and feather your butt.
Well, I think Rebecca posted a video that they caught a guy outside of, I think it was Atlanta. Because you know they have all the cameras, and they literally caught him and got the license plate and everything, and he'd gotten some serious trouble.
Look, there are two reasons why I say that. Okay, one, that dog is your companion. He's supposed to be part of your family. He is, at that particular point in time, he's domesticated. He's domesticated. So he's either going to starve to death and die and suffer out there and die, or he's going to go feral and go back to his original DNA, where he is a wild canine that no longer fears humans. And he's going to look at a child and go, that's in my food chain.
Yep.
Or two, he's going to end up, if he's strong enough, especially males, if they're strong enough, he'll end up being accepted into a pack of yotes or wolves, depending on how big he is. And then when he breeds, he's going to be breeding another generation that's not afraid of humans.
Yeah.
We've had members of the Georgia Trappers Association got killed coming out of a beaver swamp by a pack of dogs. And all of them were at one point in time domesticated.
Caught a mastiff in a coyote set. Someone's pet. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Look, I had a farmer many moons ago, before I met Robin, begged me to come out and thin out the coyotes and the foxes on his farm. I said, you've got to put your dog up. Gotta put it up. Gotta put it up. Gotta put it up. I said, I will catch your dog. Yeah, I'll do that. I caught his Saint Bernard twice.
Yeah.
And I said, that's it. I'm done. And I pulled my trap. Yeah. So and I'll tell you how bad it's gotten, at least in our state. It's one of the reasons why they made it a felony.
It's really bad. Yeah.
They've done studies where they have paid some of us trappers to catch these coyotes, tag them with a collar, draw blood, and turn them loose. And then they would go down once the blood test came back. If it had any traces of any type of domesticated dog in its bloodline whatsoever, they would hunt it down and kill it.
Yep.
You know it's bad when the state's getting involved in there, and they were paying really good money in certain counties. You had to go to these certain counties to do it, and they were paying anywhere from $75 to $100 a coyote that you would catch, and you tag it. That was more than what the coyote was worth on the live market.
Yeah.
Live market for the fox farms, and definitely a whole lot more than what the fur was worth. And speaking of fur, okay.
This is funny. You're about to see Jason get his dander up. It's hilarious. What is the name of it? Do you remember the name of the show?
The Great Northern Wild, or the Great Wild North, or something like that. Okay, there was the Great Wild North, which we just watched on Netflix. It was a great show.
It was a reality.
It was a somebody's reality. It was a reality-based TV show, just like Mountain Men,
right?
And a couple of other ones that have had trappers on their show. Okay.
But it was all
If
about
you
shopping.
happen to be a producer or a director of this show and you're watching our show for some obscene reason, you're trying to get to know us and want to invite us on a
Please.
show, one, no.
Two.
Two, please
Please.
stop over exaggerating the fur prices.
Because that crap ain't true.
Because the Great Wild North, they filmed, according to Netflix, it came out in 2015. So I pulled up the 2015 fur
For a
prices.
report. Because they put those out for you to see them.
So you can monitor how the
What's
fur market's
going on,
going. It's no different than the stock market, the milk market, anything like that. It fluctuates.
Depending on demand.
It fluctuates like a prom queen.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway, when they started saying that one lynx was like, what were they saying, like $1,000?
No, like $700.
Yeah.
$700 or $800.
$700-800.
Jason's
I said,
like,
what?
where?
What? And then they come out with the Martins, and they said those were a couple $100.
Whatever it
And-
was, the numbers were
And
not
the Fishers and the Wolverines
right. Okay, good
was,
baby.
they were up, and I was like, what? I told Robin,
Staged.
I said, hold on a second. Baby, you might want to go start packing. Because
Yeah,
one,
they're
Wolverine
packing.
is on my bucket list to trap.
Mhm.
A wolf is on my bucket list to trap.
Mhm.
A lynx is on my bucket list to trap. And so is a
Mhm.
Fisher, and so is a Martin. We ain't got none of those guys down here. So I said, wait a minute. Now I knew lynx went for a lot of money.
Yes.
I knew that. But I was like,
There's no way they
no.
go for
So
$1,000.
pulled up the 2015 NAFA fur report. And it had how many were offered, how many
were
sold, and what the average price was and what the top price was.
Mhm.
The average badgers, that's another one on my soul. Oh, I want to catch a badger so bad. See, windswept got me off guard. I want to catch a badger so bad I can like taste it.
But you don't want to taste that.
Them are some mean little sons of bitches, boy. And I want to catch one so bad. Them and Wolverines, boy. I just want to. They're two of the baddest boys on the block, and I want them on my wall. Anyway, the average for the lynx cat coming out of the Yukon or Alaska was only $250. The top one only went for like $350, $400. That is a lot less than $700, $800. Why do they feel the need to do
Well, like
that? They
the
have to
otter.
exaggerate
Remember the
that.
otter? They were like, oh, well, what did they say? Like 12 otters would bring in a couple
Yeah.
several $1,000s. I was like, in where? Like where?
Where? And here's the thing about the fur market. It depends on where you're at. The Yukon and Alaska, them boys are getting top dollar for every fur that they can put their
Right,
hands
because
on.
of where they're at.
Because they've got better guard hair, they got thicker fur, and that's
Mm-hmm.
that's
Possum skin, $150.
you better put a decimal point in there because
like $1.50, $2.
last year possums went up to $1.50. They were 75 cents. They jumped to $1.50. I almost sent a bunch of them, and I was like, no. Here's the thing. In my fur market, right where I'm at right now, that's why I the trapper in me wants to get the heck out of the south. I want to get up there around in his neck of the woods, or I want to get up there in the Yukon. But somebody is afraid of the cold.
I'm not afraid of it.
But I want to get somewhere where it's cold because the fur is better. But right now, for us, I can take one coon hide, I can tan it, hand it to her.
He said, wonder what price my corgi would bring.
Hand it to Robin. She makes mittens or a hat or something out of it, and I'll get 5 times as much as I would if I sold that coon hide, because that coon hide is probably, it may only go for $3 this year. But see, I'm passing that tradition on to my children. America, from the Mississippi River over, would not have been founded if it wasn't for the trapper. Fact. Most of the mountains in the Appalachian and the Blue Ridge, all of that, really wouldn't have been populated if it wasn't for the trapper. Most of the maps of America were made from the trapper. And that's a tradition that we can't let go.
Did you answer if Tasmanian Devil's on the bucket list? That's a mean song.
Yeah. But, see, it's not bad here in Southern Indy. Come on up. You know,
He still wants snow. And if we're going to have snow, it does not need to be for months.
one of the things that I want to do before I die is to go to a place that has so much snow I need to put snowshoes on and walk. I want to feel what it's like to walk in snowshoes. Period. I want to get the experience of walking in snowshoes.
Okay, y'all pay attention. The next time we have a snow, I'm going to buy him 2 tennis rackets. We're going to make a video. What's it feel like, baby?
See, that's why you don't have any friends.
I have more than you.
Nope.
Everybody in this chat's my friend.
You're my friend too.
By default.
I don't think so, Chuck. No. But okay, so now we're going to say goodnight.
To all our family. MICKEY MOUSE.
Mama will be selling these at the conference as well.
Yeah, that's what I was working on. You didn't
This
get
is
to
a
see
soap
it.
sack, and it's got the soap in it.
Make sure it wasn't being trapped as an endangered. Oh yeah, we do.
So, y'all, we will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. For
Wait, before we leave, does anybody have a request on an oil? Because I haven't really decided yet what I was going to do.
You know, me and the boss of the swamp, we're friends. We chat every now and then on Facebook. But he has gotten so much crap. He didn't trap last year. He didn't trap last year.
And part of it was because of the fur prices. It wasn't worth pulling the traps out to do anything.
Yep. He's one of my heroes, for lack of a better term. He's definitely Ladessa's hero. There's a video out that he mentions Ladessa and Carol Ann.
Yes, Lisa, I did. I'm just not sure which one it is as far as
Because
his
they
video.
made him
Pot holders.
and something else,
I don't remember.
and they sent some treats for Frankie. But I would love to go up there to New York with him. Just like Robin has a cousin that lives up there further north than him.
In Albany.
Got a tremendous amount of land. They said I can come up there and go trap anytime. But will we go up in the winter? No.
Gotta be able to afford it.
So.
An oil that aids in weight loss. We could talk about that one. We could do that.
Alright. So. looks like the 4 hens roosts.
I think they're going on at 10 maybe, or next,
she
whenever.
said they're coming on next. So, well, it's 9:40, so she knows it takes us about 20 minutes to say goodbye.
To all their family.
Would you stop? We're not going to get monetized that way because you're going to get us with a copyright.
It's me
fee.
singing it.
You're still going to get a
Doesn't
copyright
matter.
fee. I shouldn't be saying that right now when I'm jobless. Donna says, I used to watch one of those reality shows and the guy was trapping something, he'd get $5 for it. It seems sad to take a life for that amount. Well,
there's different ways to look at that.
Here's another way to look at that, Donna. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you were in Walmart, Walgreens, the doctor's office, and you seen any wild animal purchasing any type of birth control? They don't. So
they don't have the capacity to do pleasure over procreation.
Most of your wild animals, except for a very few, like a beaver. A beaver is monogamous. A woodpecker is monogamous. Most every other one, the boy, he's like, let me see how much I can spread my seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it's mating season,
it's mating season.
that's the reason why hunting seasons are in the time of year that they are. That's the reason why trapping season is during the time that it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't
keep it in
practice conservation correctly, then these animals will overpopulate themselves, get themselves sick, and die.
Well, and then on the flip side,
that's more of a painful death than if they were trapped or hunted.
And then the other flip side of that is being the responsible trapper and not trapping it out completely so that you're not taking away somebody else's food source, or you're not taking away somebody else's predator.
Yeah.
You know, there's a delicate balance.
Like, for an example, when I go into when I'm fur trapping and I come in and there's beavers, I will not wipe out that beaver population.
Mm-mm.
I'll catch, depending on what I estimate as what the population is in that area, and I'll take a little over half, and then I pull my stuff and leave. Unless, the only reason I put this caveat, unless I'm being paid to eradicate them completely out of that area, then I will trap them out. Coyotes, believe it or not, I do the same thing with. If I'm on fur trapping and I'm not there on a nuisance job, I'll estimate my population. I may pull half.
Right, because you still need them to keep certain things in check. Rabbits.
I need those coyotes to keep chipmunks, rats, field mice, rabbits, all those kind of things. I need those to stay in check. Because I like the rabbit hunt. I like the squirrel hunt.
Like Bass said, they overtrapped the yotes and now they have an overpopulation of deer. So now they got to probably open up the deer season so that people will hunt more.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The yotes aren't going to go after deer unless they're in a large pack. And like Bass said, thus the zombie deer issue here. Why? Because all of their natural predators have been taken away. And here's the thing. We are shooting ourselves in the foot with all of these legislations, and they're trying to take away the foothold trap. They're trying to take away the snare. They're trying to take away the connies. They're trying to take away your rifles for deer hunting. They only want you to be able to shoot with a shotgun or a crossbow or a bow. And that limits the amount that gets harvested every year. Because there's some guys out there that they're intimidated by a bow or a crossbow, or a shotgun just kicks too hard for them and they're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't see a lot of women carrying shotguns to shotgun hunt deer.
Mm-mm.
You'll see them with a little 7mm or a 240 or something like that. The smaller caliber rifles that'll still drop a deer, and they're hunting that way.
Mm-hmm.
You start putting all of these crazy laws into effect, then you're gonna have a zombie. What is a zombie deer? The windswept, up north, they had a flesh-eating virus that
Virginia had it.
went through the. Well, that's up north to us.
Okay.
That
Below
went
the
through
Mason-Dixon
their deer population.
Yeah, and like they were just
Yeah.
dying on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Jason, they do not know the difference between the new and old style traps.
And here's the thing. I believe every organization started out with good intentions.
Mhm.
Like PETA.
Yep.
PETA started out with good intentions. Initially, when PETA started, they were saving animals that were
Like
being
the Fox Farms and things like that.
no, they were being abused and over tested for beauty products
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And they were putting a stop to that to try to get some regulations involved to help protect these animals. That was great. I'm all for that. But then they elected some psychopath that wanted to just say animals had more rights than humans. And then that's where they are today. And now PETA has more violations and lawsuits and
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
for animal cruelty than anybody else. PETA's famous for taking a roadkill and taking like a weasel or a mink that's got killed on the side of the road, and then placing it in a large beaver foothold trap and saying, see what this foothold trap did to this poor defenseless mink? You know? Here's the thing. You know what? I wish PETA would go after the mink farms, the fox farms,
Yeah.
all of that. Why? Because that would make my fur prices go back up.
Right.
Because a lot of those guys, you know, these puppy farms,
Ugh.
the cat farms, go after those. Leave us alone.
Leave the trappers alone.
Leave the
because when
trappers
they're
and the
doing it
hunters
right,
alone.
Because, and we already have things in place to keep that stuff regulated. I mean, we
Mhm.
have. I mean.
But here's the thing that not many people know.
Mm-hmm.
The white-tailed deer and the American wild turkey
Mm-hmm.
were saved by hunters and trappers.
Mm-hmm.
They were near extinction. But because responsible hunters and trappers, responsible outdoorsmen, put laws and limitations in place,
Yep.
these animals are now flourishing.
Yep.
Some a little bit more in other
than
places. But again, organizations like PETA, and believe it or not, the Humane Society is starting to get that way, which completely, utterly breaks my heart. But they have started to put wrong leaders in wrong positions, and the Humane Society is starting to get a little bit off the chain.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're going to reel that back in. But have now guilted people into not hunting. Like, look what they did to that dentist
Oh, with the African
with the
safari.
with the lion. Was it a lion? Wasn't it a lion or an elephant or a rhino?
It was a lion. I think
Was
it
it
was
a lion? I think it was a lion.
What
He
they
had-
don't tell you.
What they don't tell you is he had his license, he paid for all the permits, and he paid for an educated guide in that area.
That told him that
The
that
guide
specific animal
Needed to be taken.
harvested because he was older and yeah.
The guide made that call.
Yep.
And see, and that's what people who've never been on guided hunting trips don't understand.
Later's better than never, sweetheart.
The hunter goes out there and he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna shoot that one." The guy be like, "No, that
Mm-mm.
one's not old enough. or that one's not right. Let's just be patient and wait. I promise you we're going to get you a bigger one. That one still hasn't reached maturity level. Because the guys that are out there that pay for these guided hunts and stuff, they want the big deer. They want the big bear, the big moose, or
Right.
the big safari kill. They want the biggest and the baddest one that they could find.
But the
So
guys,
what that means is they want to harvest the animal that is at his peak. Because next year, he's going to start getting
going
weaker.
down.
And he's going to go downhill until he either catches a disease or is taken out by the next alpha male. They knew that that famous lion was already on his way down. The guy told him, take him out. And that's what happened. And now this dentist, he had to shut down his practice because people lost their stinking minds. And here's the thing. Hopefully here in the next couple of years, I'm going to be able to afford to go on a guided bear hunt. I want a bear. So don't be so quick.
I love her name, Unicorn Force.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
Well, isn't that what's her name's daughter?
Who?
Isn't that Kitty's daughter?
No, I don't know. That's either Kitty's daughter or Simply's daughter.
I don't know. Anyway,
And let me say this. I'm gonna say something, and I'm just gonna say it like this. Over this last week, we haven't been on much social media, but I do try to catch certain people's videos. And
Mhm.
one of those people's videos I try to catch is Cab 7.
yes.
Cab 7 is my bro. He's a fellow vet. And he's just an all-around
Good guy.
great guy.
Very
he has
supportive.
a giving heart.
Oh, it's short round.
Short
Okay,
round.
got it.
Some things were said about him this last week
Diamond Rose. That's what it is.
that were completely unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That were
And people that jumped ship and stopped
Were-
supporting him.
very ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me telling everybody out there. I put my entire channel, our entire homestead, our entire love, our entire support behind Cab 7. Just like we put it behind Simply 7. We put it behind Kitty. We put it behind Mama Old
We don't
Ways.
like bullies, y'all. At
We
the
put
end
it
of the day,
behind
that ain't
Suburban.
cool.
We put it behind Bass,
Anybody in
Mama
here?
Cat.
Anybody I see in here?
We put our support
Mm.
behind you guys, and what was done to him was wrong. And so if Cab brother, if you're in the background watching and just hanging out, brother, know Big Bear's got your back.
If there's anything we can do, let us know.
Anything that you need us to do, you need me to start coming in and you give me a wrench, you let me know. I've got more time. I'm going to hopefully start to be able to be in more in your live streams. And I'll be there for you. You just let me know where you need me, my brother.
Wonderful Blessed Life. I already emailed you back. Just so you know.
So you can take that to the bank. But anyway, let's get out of here.
Okay, so there's the 20 minutes that it takes us to say goodbye.
I know. Let's get out of here. Y'all go to the hen's roost or hen. What is it?
Yeah.
Hen house. Hen
Hen
house
Hen's
roost.
Roost.
Hen house roost. Anyway, go to Kitty and Mama Cat's gossip corner.
This is not a gossip corner.
I know. But no, y'all going over there to the hen's roost thingamabob. I can never remember that. Y'all gotta come up with a better
4
name.
hens roost.
Yeah,
I
come on.
remember it.
Yeah, but there ain't 4 of them anymore, is there? Is there still
Yeah,
4?
well, she normally, it fluctuates. They have 3 or 4 people in there all the time, and it's just not always hens. There might be a rooster in there
I
occasionally.
was gonna say that what they need to call it is some hens and some roosters.
Yep.
They need to just call it the hen house.
There you go.
So then that way when I come strutting up in there, I'll be the big cock on the block. So keep drinking. But y'all remember to love on one another, be kind to one another, because if those individuals that did that to Cat this weekend, if they were following that rule, the crap wouldn't have happened. Y'all go on over there. Mama Cat, I was just picking. Y'all, seriously, Mama Cat, you've never heard that saying? Like a bunch of little hens? How's it
Pick
go?
a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, cheep, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, cheep, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more.
Dang, that's what I was talking about. But anyway, we love you guys. Take care. Be kind to each other. You never know what that other person is going through.
Oh.
We
When
love
are you going to join us again, Jason?
I don't know. I may. No, I got
Maybe next week.
next week.
Maybe Monday night.
Maybe Monday.
Because they're Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So maybe Monday night. Because he doesn't have to milk anymore.
I know. So, love you guys. And remember. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. Save our wildlife by doing this to help take care of this planet.
By default. That's what I was saying. Don't do that. Don't do
Stop.
it. Don't
Leave
do
me
it.
alone.
Stop.
Do it.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, there we go. Bam. Mm-hmm.
You know what she's saying right now?
She laughed.
Worth it.
She emailed you back.
I got it.
Okay.
Worth
So
it.
remember, guys, do your part to help take care of this planet. We don't need more landfills. We need more recycling centers. That way these landfill areas can stay wooded for our wildlife. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow when we're going to talk about weight loss oils.
Slim and smart and slashy.
We're going to take slim. We're going to talk about slim and sassy.
You know, in Australia, they don't call it slim and sassy. They call it smart and sassy. No, slim and smart. I don't know. I have to look it up. They got a different name for it over there.
Hey, and don't forget, you can purchase this Big Bear Beaver Knife. Oh,
Ricky
at
Wallace.
Knife Works.
Hmm.
Tell him the bear sent you. You can also get these J-No stickers.
Jason. All right, y'all. Good night.
Love you guys. Y'all have a great...
She said it was so worth it. I knew it. She's over there going, worth it. Good night, y'all.
Good night, guys. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.